So today we're at the Chicago Hyatt Hotel where the Midwest Fur Fest is taking place. Now what is the Midwest Fur Fest? It's a convention for people who are into animals. Also we thought at first, but it goes a little bit deeper than that. And in order to follow that, we've been interviewing various furries and seeing what it's like for them. What kind of persecution do they face? What is it like to be them? Why are they like them? And what we found was quite interesting. As much as it may be cliche to say this, it's not just a fetish. They put real money into this stuff. There is real investment, not just in time, not just in money, but in effort. The effort it takes to make something like this. To run, well, take a look for yourself. To run this, it's an incredible event. And honestly, even though it's quite weird, I haven't stopped smiling. So without further ado, let's go to the interviews. What is his name? Do we know his name, or is it just a squeak? It's just... You are Scath the dragon.
Think of a penny.
A cent as in penny.
Everstrong the Circle.
Everstrong the Circle, okay. Obviously this is your first owner, his name is Toby J. Wolf. Mm-hmm. What is your first owner's name?
My first owner's name is Austin.
I've got to ask, what is a nurse, is your first owner a nurse, or... No? Okay, so what's up with the first aid stuff?
It's one of her outfits, I lost a bet.
This is Jade. She is mostly wolf, but something went wrong and she's giant now.
A giant wolf, okay, cool.
He started off as like a hyena, kind of turned into a mutt, now he's just a shark mutt. So.
A shark mutt?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't have a tail.
Okay, I was going to say, I've seen a lot of shark tails here, it's been incredible.
Wilcox.
Okay.
Wolf, cat, and fox mate.
What character is this? What is it?
No, this one's a jackal here.
It's a jackal, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The idea was, okay, so you have a Nubian jackals that are black, but I wanted it to be something different, so I turned them white.
Okay. So it's an angel dragon? An angel dragon, okay. Are those from Norway, or was it the Scandinavian countries, or something like that? Yeah, Scandinavians, around there, okay. To get things started, so I've been told that you're getting engaged. Did you, I must ask this question, when you were asking the question, popping the question, were you in your fursuits?
No.
You weren't, okay. So it's just, was the engagement anything to do with the fursuits, or was it, okay?
Not at all.
Not at all, okay. How long were you in the fandom before you decided to get a fursuit?
Yeah, okay, so I started in 2006.
2006.
To say start, I mean, I don't know. It starts with the internet, always, I guess. And 2 years later, I really wanted to meet other like-minded people like me.
Yeah.
And therefore, I found a way to leave my hometown to be able to do such a thing.
I actually started off and on maybe 8 years ago. I was had some online accounts, found about fursuits, I did cosplay at first.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Then I found out about fursuits and I did it. I was off and on. I got into contact with the local community. I was here and there. And then in 1 year I decided to get a fursuit and I commissioned a full digigrade fursuit off the bat.
How long have you been in the fandom? Two, 4, 10. We'll say 10 years. 10 years. And how many years were you in the fandom before you decided to get a fursuit? This amazing fursuit. So 4. So in for 10, and you were in it for 4 years before you decided to get a fursuit.
So I was originally a professional mascot. So it was first with the National Aquarium in Baltimore, then my university, and then I went professional baseball.
Uh-huh.
But anyway, so when I was in college, they tasked me with finding new paws for the mascot because they got worn out. And I noticed that Don't Hug Cacti was a friend of our mascot, so I contacted the company, and Lucky, the coyote, talked me into getting a fursuit that night, and then I was like, oh, that's great, now I can have one at home too. And so I don't know, it took a year from there because I had to make it, but yeah, it took maybe 2 days.
Oh man, 6 years maybe, about.
6 years, 6 years. So how old are you now, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 31.
And yourself?
I'm 26.
Probably a year, and then I kind of was like, I want to get a suit.
Do you only wear it at furry conventions, or does it go elsewhere with you? It goes elsewhere with you. Okay, so I'm guessing football games. No. Children's parties. I bet the kids would love that. Okay, is there any kind of financial gain for you, or is it just you just love what you're doing? So You just love it, yeah, exactly.
No, this is for fun. I do this because I've made a lot of friends in the fandom, and I've always had a passion for being a character. So now I can do what I want to do instead of what someone tells me.
When you made this persona, this personality for yourself, do you act like your persona, or does your persona act like you? You know, is it the second one? Oh no, the first one. So you act like your persona.
I just act like me, man.
You just act like me. You just act like you. Your persona is you in its in all its entirety.
I am definitely not trying to play a character. I could, but I'm not.
Toby is pretty similar to me, actually.
So pretty similar to you.
I don't know, it's kind of weird. I know some people have completely different personalities. It's just kind of just an extension of me, I guess, in a way.
Yeah.
Not too much difference.
To be honest, for me, I think it's a bit of part A and part B. So it's kind of both. So I kind of act like her. Sometimes she kind of act like me. It just depends on the day.
Yeah. What is your job in, if you don't mind me asking, in real life? Are you a businessman in real life? Is this your work suit, except minus the head, obviously?
Well, this isn't my work suit, but I was in consumer sales most recently, so kind of. I mean, I'm used to a tie.
Could you mime for me what your real, your job is, your occupation, what you do for a living? Could you mime? A pilot? You're a pilot. Oh, well.
I just work a basic 9-to-5 job as an accountant.
Just an accountant, okay. There's a lot of accountants here. Do you think there's any reason for that?
Well, I know there's a lot of furries in IT and like tech stuff, a lot of math-based stuff, so I guess we're a bunch of nerds.
I'm actually a surveillance officer.
A surveillance officer? What's that involve? Sorry.
It's mostly watching cameras, taking care of people.
Are you both totally from the US? What states are you from?
Oh, we're from here in Chicago.
Oh, you're from here in Chicago. So how far was the drive?
To get here, 40 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, 40 to an hour.
40 minutes to an hour, okay.
I am American and I come from Virginia.
Okay.
It's a 12-hour drive to get here, and parking is terrible, but that's fine.
Do you live in America, or have you come in internationally to this convention?
I live here now. I was from elsewhere originally.
Okay, but you decided to live over here. When did you realise you were furry, and what was it like?
I don't know. I guess it started not too long ago. It's kind of like I was exploring like con videos and such, and then I was like, yo, I've always been obsessed with like Pokemon and creating your own characters, and it's more of I'm in it for creating my own character and being able to like portray it.
I don't know, I was always just kind of a theater kid in high school and college. It's, you always enjoy acting as somebody else, being somebody different. I actually had a friend who was a furry, introduced me to it. I thought it was kind of neat, so it's just kind of neat to make your own character and get out and act and be somebody different.
So do your parents know?
Oh yeah, of course.
How did they find out?
I showed them a couple of suits and they were like, that's pretty cool, because I just explained it as a sort of art style.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, so there were always costumes in and out of the house. But when I got my first suit, my dad, like a week later, I caught him. He put it on and took it to the grocery store, and I was like, Dad.
Oh yeah.
Okay, they do understand.
Yes.
Okay, how did they find out? Was it just kind of it just happened one day, or was there a sudden I've just realised this moment?
I just told him. I mean, like I cosplayed before different like furry characters and stuff before actually getting a fursuit, so
Okay.
it just kind of was like, hey, I'm into this, and got a fursuit and showed it to him one day.
Okay, and what was their reaction?
It was fine. There's no like, a lot of people are worried that you can get like a negative reaction, but my family was totally fine with it. I mean, it makes sense. I was a weird theater kid anyway, so.
Yeah. And yourself?
I actually told my parents, but I was more into anime and stuff, so it was like,
Expected.
yeah, kind of, pretty much.
Has the head ever come into your professional kind of life, where you ever need to sell something to someone who was a furry and you thought, I'll get the head and the rest of it and try and get it in, or is it strictly you keep a fine line between professional and your personal life?
Well, I've never brought it to sell anything, but I have brought it to work, and I found out that my manager was one of those little kids when they were a kid that beats up mascots.
Oh no!
But because it's fun. Because he grabbed my ears and was yanking them around. He's like, oh, this is so cool! And then he hit me in the gut. I was like, oh my god, but you have to be nice.
So this is your only fursuit then? You don't have like multiple ones or anything?
I own 7.
You own 7?
But I sold 5.
You sold... Okay, so you own 7, sold 5. Did you sell them to people who liked the design, or are you like a middleman for fursuits then or something?
A lot of the fursuits I ended up owning were ones that I ended up picking up at the dealer's den.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to be able to do this and meet other people who do it too. So I did that. I went ahead and spent the money to go buy it. And then I found out later, okay, well, maybe there's an issue or two that I really don't want to deal with. So then I would sell it and be like, maybe somebody else would be happier with it than I would.
Okay.
So that's how that happened.
So how long have you been fursuiting for?
I've been a fursuiter for 5 years, a mascot for 15.
Wow. Okay, so you started off being a mascot from how old?
High school, so it'd be 9th grade. You have to be 15.
15.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay, so there's a lot of people with a lot of experience here. So you said you came over here. When you came over here, is the furry community the most alive in the US, or would you say abroad, it's just as strong?
Difficult to say because the US is so big. I'd say it depends on where you are and how much effort you put into it. You have to make a real effort to make connections. And hi, how are you is not a good greeting.
Yeah. You got to make yourself stand out and whatnot. Yeah.
I mean, out of suit, I'm a photographer, I'm a videographer, and I dance as well. So these are the things that click. These are the things that click with me and like help me to connect to others with similar interests. I mean, admittedly, I don't have such a strong connection with, say, artists, for example, because I don't draw myself.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still friends with them, but I don't think I would have gotten in here solely on that basis, trying to make friends with artists. I started making friends like initially with a lot of other photographers and videographers and eventually dancers, and that's how it's a progressive thing. It did not happen.
It's just one step after another you kind of get into it. Okay, cool. Okay, I noticed you got a phone in your hand. Do you have to take your gloves off to use it? Or are the gloves conductive?
I do need to take my gloves off. Yeah.
Were you furries when you knew each other, or did one of you convert the other one?
We were both actually furries before we met.
Uh-huh.
She actually found me on Pounced, of all places, right?
Pounced?
Yes. I don't even think it exists anymore.
Okay, you're going to have to explain this. You're going to have to explain this. I'm not a furry. I got dragged here by my cameraman and that guy. So, what's Pounced?
It is a furry dating site that does not exist anymore.
When you're getting engaged, is there going to be any kind of furry memorabilia at the wedding, or is it's just going to be a plain, simple, normal wedding?
No, it's just a normal wedding. I think we're doing like a masquerade theme, but it's just basically, more formal.
Okay, yeah. I realise this is a very formal business setting, and there are critical deals which need to be done every day. You need to look your best. You need to be on form and understand the complexities of international and national business, the complexities of taxation, and of course, government policies on everything you do. So I must ask, can I boop the snoot?
Well, of course, yeah.
Thank you. Boop. Okay.
Yes, you may.
Excellent, thank you. Boop. They all respond like that. They all go like, oh, and you. Boop. Oh, these are so incredibly soft. Boop. Okay. That's incredible. Boop. Okay, thank you guys. It's been absolutely incredible. So wherever you're flying, I have to fly back to England eventually, so I hope you're my captain for that. Provide some very interesting stuff. He's not going to shake my hand. I'm shake handshake or hug? What is it, handshake or hug? I'll take a hug, okay. Thank you. Yeah. You've been very helpful, that's very, very insightful, thank you. Well, thank you. It's been, I know people do hugs and stuff, I'm just going to shake your hand. Wait, he's only got 3, is that like 2 fingers and is it like that? Or how you have 4... Is that 2 fingers in there, or where's the 2 fingers lie? Oh, in there. Okay, cool. Right. I got to admit, the ears do look incredibly soft. Thank you. It's been an absolute pleasure. Shaking hands or hugs, I don't know what we do. Okay. Thank you. What was the bet you lost?
It had something to do with when we were moving into our new condo, like what day the furniture would be delivered. So
what day? What day did you say the furniture would be delivered?
Wednesday.
And what day did you say?
I thought it was going to be like a week later. Basically, It was like an over-under. Like I thought they were going to be like...
You didn't trust someone and they let you down by performing as expected? Yeah. It's okay. I've had that feeling before. Right. You're okay if we do an interview with you?
Of course.
Okay, excellent. Okay, cool. Right. Let's just double check we're still synchronized and whatnot. Give me a second.
Should it be like very formal?
I mean, you could... No, don't be bothered being formal.
We're not formal.
Yeah.
You can be as crazy... You be you, or not you, or... Your persona. I don't know. Can you sit? Can you sit like a, like a...
That's great, actually.
That's great, okay. Have we got everything in frame? And you... This is the most ridiculous interview I've done in a while. Actually, I'm lying, it's not. This is absurd. I'm not used to the interviewing in this condition before. That is actually incredible.